The drug company Purdue Pharma, which produces the powerful painkiller OxyContin, will plead guilty to federal criminal charges in the United States for its role in fueling the opioid epidemic. They'll face a fine of more than $8 billion. Robert Cantor joins me now. He's an international parent advocate addressing the opioid epidemic. Robert, thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Angie, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here. Thank you. And on behalf of all the families that are lost loved ones from the opioid crisis, thank you for the airtime. We appreciate it.
Well, your voice is absolutely critical in all of this. I want to get your reaction to this decision against Purdue Pharma. What kind of precedent is this going to set for future fines and legislation?
Well, you know, as a family parent advocate and an individual that's in recovery from opioid use disorder, as well as my daughter, who I would say just celebrated 2 years of sobriety, so she's a rock star. It is a family disease. From the family perspective, it's been a mixed bag. The reactions I've been getting has been a mixed bag. There are some people that feel it's a lousy deal. There are some parents that are hurt by it because they'll settle for nothing short of having the sacklers put in jail. But there are a lot of really good tenets of the settlement that are also wonderful, such as the monies that are going to treatment. And I think also for the families that I've spoken to, specifically the message from the government, which is saying that, you know, we might have screwed up in the past, that our FDA screwed up in the past, but right now we're going to do the best we can to make this right. So it's been a mixed bag.
Yeah.
As far as the president is concerned, I know you have legislation that is going to be certified next month. I know British Columbia is getting slammed right now. And I think it sets a good precedent, but I wouldn't put any on the Sackler family. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say.
Well, I can see it's cautious optimism, certainly on your end and on the ends of all those families that have been affected. And we commend you and your daughter, of course, for all the work that you've been doing. Give us more of a sense here of how much this has affected you.
In terms of the actual settlement, or in terms of...
No, in terms of how you and your daughter have suffered from the overdose.
Right. So I subscribe to the 12-step abstinence-based program. I've been sober many years, and my daughter as well suffered from this illness. And, you know, right now we're both sober, thank God, but it hasn't always been that way. Mm-hmm. And you know, I did not get that phone call that so many parents unfortunately received from the coroner's office. I know many here in New York that have. And so right now for us, you know, for my advocacy work, I'm carrying a message where there needs to be conversation, loving destigmatized conversations between parents and their kids to support them and love them, emulating something what we call the Portugal model, and to destigmatize opioid use disorder. It's really very important for us to change the language, change the narrative, go from them to us. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really, we lost more Americans last year, 71,000 deaths than we did in all of the entire Vietnam War. I mean, that's how prolific this epidemic is. We have fentanyl on the streets, which is very powerful right now and very deadly, and that's really exacerbating things. So there are a lot of good tenets that came out of this settlement, and I'm hoping that'll also happen for the Canadian legislation. But it's a mixed bag as a parent advocate. It really has been a mix. The reactions I've been getting from the parents has really been a mixed bag.
Yeah, certainly has. I've got about 30 seconds or so left, Robert, but you're in the middle of an election here. Moving forward, what do you want to see where there is that concrete action?
Well, you know, a lot of people don't know that President Trump lost his brother to alcoholism. A lot of people doesn't talk about that, but he's very intimately aware of the opioid crisis and alcoholism and how it plagues our country. You know, the sad part of this is that this didn't have to happen. It's not a pathogen-based epidemic. This was man-made. It's a man-made plague, and the legislators, the legislation that I've been supporting is called the Family Support Services for Addiction Act. It's Congressman David Troen and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, and that just passed the House and went into the Senate. So we're excited about that. There are many different pieces of legislation that are currently in Congress right now. So it is top of mind with legislators. There are many different committees and task force. They're all bipartisan. And there are good things on the horizon. Not much is going to happen in the remaining time with this Congress, but there'll be a lot of bills introduced in January, and there'll be a lot of action. We're excited about that.
Well, and certainly, and you should be, and we'll keep a close tab on developments there as we do here at home in Canada. We commend your strength and your bravery, both you and your daughter, the excellent work that you're doing. Robert Cantor, Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me, Angie.
You're welcome.